Okay guys, very excited. Today is the day Project Z-Kart, I guess, officially starts. I guess it started the day I bought it, but we are going to start taking everything out of this. By everything, doors, hood, fenders, top, pretty much anything that doesn't connect the suspension or the drivetrain to the car is coming off. The ultimate goal is to save as much weight as possible. Now I'm going to manually weigh this stuff as I go. Right now we're at 2,658 pounds, I believe it was. And I'm going to try to get that number as low as possible. I want this thing to weigh nothing and have about 400 to 450 horsepower. And it is going to be our drift, burnout, drag, and overall just have a hell of a time, not care about it. Cheap budget, fun build. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to start off by just removing the big parts. Furthermore, anything you see that I remove will be for sale. Hood, bumpers, headlights, all that stuff. So I am going to keep some Z3 stuff. I think I'm going to incorporate this into the build. I'm going to incorporate the taillights into the build, which I think are pretty cool looking. And you may say, hey, why are you having taillights and all that stuff? Well, this car is also going to be street legal because I'm in Florida. And street legal can mean a lot of things down here. So what we're going to do is I actually have an appointment made for the tax collector's office to get this registered. And all they need is the title that I have, the clean title. I give them a few $100, they give me a license plate, and we just start driving it around. It's easy as that. So you gotta love this state. So right now I'm gonna begin taking it all apart, and we're gonna party. Okay guys, I want y'all to take your guesses as to what this is going to weigh afterwards. Right now, it's 2,658 pounds, I believe. We're gonna ditch everything. So take your guesses. I have a good guess in my head, but I wanna see what you guys think. I can honestly say, just between this here and these there, that's 15 pounds of weight, just there. There's a couple speakers and stuff. So it's really amazing how quickly this adds up. All the nuts and bolts and everything, I'm gonna put in a bag and weigh the bag after. So, it'd be interesting to see how much just nuts and bolts and fasteners that aren't gonna be used, how much they weigh. So drop your guesses in the comments because I am excited. This is probably my favorite part, because it's going to be really interesting to see how skinny we can get this. I'm hoping, well, like I said, I have the number in my head. You know what, forget it. I'll tell you guys what I think. It might be optimistic, but I think we can get this down to 2,200 pounds. It's going to be tough. And I'm not sure how much any of these panels weigh. We'll start figuring out once we get there, but that's a few $100 pounds to shave off. So let's make it happen. If I have to get crazy, I'll get crazy. But the Z-Kart is gonna be light and it's gonna be fast. Holy cow. That hood was really heavy, like surprisingly heavy. I'm gonna weigh it right now. It's also like 1,000 degrees and 1,000,000% humidity right now, so I'm sweating. But just like that, it is taking shape. So I'm sweating like crazy still. So I just weighed the hood, the doors, and the trunk. The hood was 73 pounds with mechanisms. The doors were 60 pounds on the dot each, and the trunk was 30 pounds. So that gives us 223 pounds just right there. A grand total of 2,435 pounds, which right now is lighter than my E30. Granted, there's no cage in it, which is gonna be another 150-ish pounds, and we still have to cut all sorts of junk out of this. So we're just gonna keep going and keep shedding that weight. I haven't even pulled out the soft top frame or the pump or anything like that. So we're just gonna keep rolling, but right now it's looking good. We're getting skinny and I'm hoping to shave another 200 pounds off this thing and I'll be real happy. But we'll see how that goes. All these little things add up. Radiator support, headlights, bumper supports, all those things. And we still have air conditioning we have to remove. I mean, there's a ton of weight. I'll bring it to the shop and put it on the scales again when it's completely gutted before we do the roll cage and see where we're at. And that will give us a really good idea, but it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be real awesome. So we are shaving some weight. I know it sounds redundant, but the lighter you are, the faster you are. This is my real high-end bathroom scale, zeroed out with all this stuff in it. Anything I take off, I throw in there, weigh it, and then toss it outside right now. And we're gonna sell as much as we can, and if not, it goes away. So right now, we should be around 2,350 pounds, approximately. And I still have so much more to go. Okay, it is the next morning. Just finished up a video. I left these on for dramatic effect here. Whew. Oh, drop it. That'd be a real dramatic effect. So, I'm not sure where we left off last night. It got late. It got late, but I know we got a lot done. So, hit me up if you need any of these parts. I'm not gonna hang on to them forever, but I am gonna hang on to them for a while because a lot of them are in pretty good shape. And I'm sure someone will need them. As of the last tally, I shaved off 439 pounds, which leaves us approximately 2,220 pounds right now. So today I'm going to take off the secondary air pump. That's all going to come off. I'm going to take off the AC. That's all coming off. I'm going to pull the blower motor. I'm going to cut the trunk. That's going to be a big one. But I'm going to cut this, I think right along this line. I'm going to draw that out in a few minutes here and get that all buttoned up, and that's all going to come out. Oh, also the exhaust. That thing's got to weigh a ton. Just picking away at stuff here, taking my time a little bit. What I am doing is labeling the things I am removing. That way, when it comes down to thinning the wiring harness and all that, I know what's what, and I know what I need to save. I'm not trying to guess what went where. For me, it's just easier to do it that way. Take the 2 seconds, put a little tape, mark it, and we're good to go. I also want to show you this here. I just whipped this up real quick. This is just a block off plate for the secondary air pump. So that's going to be deleted, or it's already removed, but that's going to be deleted in this application. So there's a port here that you have to block off. I just made a gasket and a quick block off plate. You can buy these all laser cut and stuff, but it took me probably 5 minutes to make this, so no big deal. So I'm going to install that now. I trace back the vacuum line that goes to that, and I plug that off. And we're just gonna kind of slowly incorporate things like that I was gonna do anyways, and it's a kind of a while you're here, because I had to pull this off anyways to just delete it. So it's extra weight. Not to mention what I'm also doing on certain things like that is I just snap a quick picture of them and then list them for sale on eBay or whatnot. I just charge a cheap price, and hopefully someone, if they need it, they get a good deal. I get a couple bucks to buy turbo parts. All right. This is gonna be a good one. Oh my goodness. So I'm thinking this is 40. I'm 200. So we say 48, 459. Whoo, we're at 507 pounds. Taking off. So what was our weight? 2,658. So 2,150. All right, we're getting close. Okay, so right now we're at 2,151. That's gonna be plus or minus a few pounds. I'm using a $10 bathroom scale here. So I've been trying to actually be conservative on the weight because it'd be fun to be surprised. So I've been, you know, if something looks like it weighs 10 pounds, I call it 8 or 9. Just because this scale isn't that great and I think it fluctuates slightly. So we're being a little conservative. Still have more to go. AC, blower and all that, but all the big stuff is off right now. So if we can get to 2,000 pounds, 2,050, that's going to be incredible because the cage is probably going to weigh about 150 pounds, I would say, which would put us at about 2,300 at the end of the day. 2,200 was my goal, so we're in the neighborhood. So this car will be much lighter than the E30 by a few hundred pounds, and hopefully it'll have more power. So it's gonna be fun no matter what. So as you just saw, we took the exhaust off, but it wouldn't be right if we didn't start the car with open headers now. So we're gonna do that. It still has the cats on it, but oh yeah. Still has that, it has a hesitation, so. So that's interesting. See, I'm jabbing the throttle. It's barely doing anything. When I hit the traction control button, that's interesting. I wonder if there was an issue with the traction control cutting timing, and that's why it wasn't responding at all in the throttle. Because this was unplugged when I first. Who knows? Okay, not that cool, I guess. Now it's about time we start to do some cutting. So I'm gonna creep under here real quick and show you what I'm thinking. So this right here is the factory rear diff mount frame member, if you will. So what I'm gonna do is cut right along this edge here. These are all the spot welds. And then I'm going to kind of flare it out this way and chop off this frame rail. So the back, oh, it's about 16 inches, maybe 2 feet to the very edge here is all gonna be cut off. So the rear diff is going to be pretty much the farthest thing back. Now, I did just check out a few things. Let me grab a flashlight. So as you can see, that center support bearing is totally smoked. I mentioned I heard some noises, and that is most likely one of them, but check this out. This is the Gibo, and look, I've never seen one this bad before. This is absolutely amazing. Look at it's been hitting the drive shaft under load, which I was hearing a little tap. That's exactly what that was. And it almost sheared off all the way into the bolt. That's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, I've seen torn up Gibos before, but this is something different. So needless to say, that's going to be on the list of stuff to buy. I'm just gonna make a small order right now of just these necessary things. before we really get into getting the whole turbo thing and doing all that stuff. That's gonna be a whole different thing. So I'm gonna get a valve cover gasket, Gibo, center support bearing, all that stuff I'm gonna grab from FCP Euro. Then, as you can see here, my trans mounts are smoked. So that's gonna be a whole different order. And I actually just reached out to Condor Speed Shop, and the guys over at Condor said they would like to help me out with this project. So what I'm gonna do is just gather a list of everything I need mount-wise, but as you can see, like right here, you can see those the subframe bushings here are torn. I'm sure these control arm bushings are smoked. So it's really gonna need just a total refresh. I haven't even looked at the front yet, but I'm sure it's along the same lines. Yeah. Yeah, this car is not clean. I can tell you that. So, but that's no big deal. That's all stuff we'd replace anyway, so it's really not the end of the world. All those bushings and stuff, they're really not all that expensive. It's more of a pain in the ass to just deal with them, press them out, you know, burn out the old ones and get the new ones in, but it's good. So it'll give us the opportunity to go through the car, make sure all the bolts are tight, you know, there's no issues once we start digging in, and get a fresh coat of paint on stuff and clean it up and do it right. You know, I was hoping not to have to do all that right away, but we'll just pick away at it. But the suspension overhaul, I mean, that's a long weekend job for me. It's not fun, but you just go through the process and hammer it out and it's good to go. So what I'm gonna do now is start cutting this out, and then we'll chop all this off and see how it looks, and we'll just keep cutting until it looks proper. So that's another thing about this car. It has to have a look to it. I'm not sure what the look is yet. I have it, it's gonna progress as it goes along, but I have an idea of how I want it to look, and it's gonna be awesome. So, I don't know how much this weighs. We're gonna weigh it. There's this, I don't even know what the hell this thing is, but I just gotta unbolt it from there. But now you can see, that's our rear end. So, we just took a ton off this car. Huge moves right here. So now we're gonna start trimming this out, and it's actually gonna be trimmed back. So here's the top shock mount, so we need to retain that. So we're gonna trim it back, and I'll probably come down along here and get rid of all this. I'm gonna stare at it for a little bit and make sure I don't get ahead of myself. Oh yeah, at least. $286. £86 right there. We're just gonna maintain these points, just these two right here, and all the rest of this stuff. Bye, Felicia. Dude, this thing is gonna be, I can't wait to get it on wheels and pull it back out. It's gonna be so short. It's, oh, that was a big cut. That was a big cut on this project. So I know we're kind of keeping a tally of, you know, I'm weighing everything that I take off. And that puts us at about 2,026 pounds. If my calculations are remotely accurate, it's, you know, even if it's between 2,000 and 2,100, it's that piece was huge. And we still haven't taken off the evap. We still got AC stuff. You know, that was big though. We're gonna trim the front end, but I'm just gonna go baby steps now because I don't want to do something too dramatic and regret it. So I just sent my biggest supporter, my best friend, it's my little brother Gabe. I sent him a picture of this. And guess what he said? He just planted a seed that I don't know how it's gonna go, but he said, dude, that looks sick. It's so short. You should make it all-wheel drive. Now, that's a lot of work, but I'm gonna say right now I'm not opposed to it because I can take an all-wheel drive BMW setup and it pretty much bolts on. You know, it doesn't bolt on, but you know, the oil pan and all that stuff, that's all no big deal to source out, and the front end is easy. That's, you know, it's all stuff I can get. So we're not gonna do that right now, but right now it's in the back of my head, and I'm gonna keep it there until this thing gets caged and all that. But it's an interesting idea. It's a very interesting idea. I'm just picturing all-wheel drive donuts in a car this small. It'd be like an amusement park ride. All right, guys, so Winston and I are sitting here poolside. And yeah, thanks for watching that video. Coming up on the next video, we're gonna do some coilovers. We're going to cut some more stuff off the car. We are going to, what else are we gonna do? We're gonna paint some things. I have an M50 intake manifold I'm installing. The car is running like crap, so we're gonna do an M50 intake manifold install right now, because why not? And yeah, stay tuned. Feel free to absolutely like and subscribe to this channel if you want to stay tuned on the shenanigans here, because it's only gonna get more outrageous from here. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time, guys.